Welcome to our special off-air session where this time we're going to be looking a little bit more deeper into marketing action plans, which is a very hot topic because the world has shifted. You might have noticed that some of the marketing that you're doing in businesses today just isn't working as well as it used to. And that's because the world has shifted in the way we do marketing. So the first thing we need to focus on when we're looking at marketing today hasn't really changed in all the years. We always used to talk about key demographics or audience profiling, really knowing who our customer is. That hasn't changed, but what has changed is what we call it. We now call it buyer persona. And the difference is a buyer persona is actually looking more deeper into where the buyer hangs out. So what sort of stuff does the buyer watch? What do they read? What do they listen to? What are they interested in? So it's more engaging with the buyer on a deeper level so that they interact with our brand. So rather than us identifying who they are, we now want to know them deeper and learn to kind of interact with them. Your vision and mission obviously becomes very important in that kind of stuff, and we've talked about before about discovering the why you do what you do, because that's part of the communication message that we're going to take to this buyer persona. And then together those two things should link. Like the buyer, once we understand them, should really identify and understand where we're coming from and really be as passionate about what we're passionate about. And then together we form that stronger kind of basis for a relationship. Creating branding and marketing difference in the marketplace is really what it's all about. You know, today we're impacted by thousands and thousands of messages, and as a consumer we've become quite turned off by all of this messaging. We just don't want to see it anymore. We scan through our emails now and we delete our spam. It goes straight into the junk box before we even get to see it. We fast forward ads on TV when we're recording programs. We've become oblivious to posters and all other forms of kind of marketing. So the things that stand out in our world today are things that are different. So we need to be thinking creatively and quirkily about what we do in marketing. We need to be a little bit different instead of doing the norm, because difference equals memorable. So if we make something just that little bit different, then it's also going to be memorable as well, and that's what we really want to achieve with our marketing plan. We need to start telling stories. Now, real stories. People want to hear about remarkable stories. That's what really drives marketing today. We live in a content-driven world. People are hungry for content, but really good content. So we want to hear content. And a lot of businesses don't realize it, but they have some wonderful stories to tell, and that could be predominantly from your customers. So your customers, you've sold them something, or they've engaged with your service or bought a product from you, they've actually got a story to tell. That product hasn't just been a transaction, it's been an interaction. That product or service has been used by them and it's changed their life, it's changed their business, it's done something. So we need to capture that story and be able to tell it. Video is a great way to be able to do that through customer interaction. It's also a great way to get that customer to write you a testimonial story, for you to do a case study and have it on your website, or indeed for them to put some stuff on your social media, share it on your LinkedIn profile. Lots of different ways nowadays in this digital world we live in to share really good content like customer experiences. You've also got great stories to tell within your staff, and that's why a lot of the times you need to bring your staff together to really have a brainstorming session about what are we going to talk about this month or next month. So real stories that people want to hear. People want to hear from people, and they want to hear from real life experiences. So it's time to start telling remarkable stories that really make a difference, and not talk about your products and benefits all the time of your particular product or service. One of the great things that was in the paper this recently that you might have seen was this great little article, or more of a brochure, that Volkswagen have started doing. So if you have a look at their marketing as a key example, what Volkswagen have done is created this lovely little piece of brochure marketing where there's very little talk about a car in here. It's all about families. And it talks about where you can go. It talks about all these different things, about different lifestyles, about camping, which is their target market. So they've really identified everything about their target market. As you can see, pictures all the way through here of lifestyle, fun and involvement. And at the very back page is a picture of the car. And this follows through into their TV advertising. If you see the new Volkswagen TV advertising, you'll see also where they talk about the family. And the family is not just their target market, but the family is their family of cars. Each of them identify identifying with a different part of that target market. So they've done it really well, and that's a car company that's gone away from selling features and benefits. It's what we call at Brand Manager a motivators. It's kind of motivational type of benefits and target marketing, but it's also emotive, it's emotional. So it taps into something that's very important to the audience, which is their emotions. So they get emotively involved with your brand and therefore want to engage with it, and they become passionate about it. What happens then is they read these great stories, and what do? They share those great stories online, and that's how you get content being driven online and shared and talked about. They do that through social media, they do that through online chat rooms, and they do that face to face. So it's the old form of word of mouth advertising. So really focusing on getting that core content out there, those good stories that you want to tell, that's not product focused but more the output focused, or motivators as we like to call them. Bring that together and all of a sudden your product and service comes to life. The great way about all of this is when it's happening, it's totally measurable, because whether they're online, digital, or in that lovely platform, we can measure it. We can have a look at what's happening on our Facebook pages, on our different social media pages, on our website itself. We should be looking all the time at those analytics and how people are sharing it and putting all that stuff through. It's really from a lead to engagement to finally what we call brand advocacy, which is really where we want people to be. We want advocates out there for our brand. We want people living and breathing and be excited about our brand as much as we are.